What's up, people? I'm going to do a quick review of my S21 Fan Edition. I picked this up yesterday, so I've had it for about 24 hours now, and I'm just answering some of the questions that I got from yesterday's unboxing. So first things first, we're going to take a look at the software version. Currently running One UI version 3.1, and that's Android 11. Hopefully this will be updated to version 12 pretty soon. One thing that I'm hoping that we get from that is the display currently only has the option of 60 to 120 Hz. So motion smoothness either is high or standard, so we don't have the adaptive option yet. Hopefully with One UI version 4, we'll get that. And that should hopefully improve battery life a little bit. On that note, the battery life has been pretty decent. The phone doesn't get too hot. It's a Snapdragon version, so none of the Exynos drama there, which I'm quite happy about. In fact, I opted for this phone specifically because I didn't want to grab the Exynos S21s. It's the only ones that we can get here in South Africa. And I could have either opted for a S20 FE for quite a bit cheaper, but that phone is plagued by ghost touches, which is probably the main reason that I'm upgrading from my Poco X3. I've got ghost touches there, and it's been driving me crazy. It's a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. It has fast charging. In fact, you can set the fast charging speed over here. I quite like that it has the options to disable fast charging because I prefer to use slow charging. I don't like my phones getting hot. Better for the battery life longevity. The cameras that are on the phone, I believe, are the exact same as the S20 FE. So we've got the ultra wide, the 3x telephoto lens. It's pretty neat. It's also got the dual recording, which I think is a pretty cool feature. I had a lot of questions about what sensors it uses. So you can take a look and see. It has the S5K2 LD and the IMX555. So I believe that is the same as the S20 FE. And on that note, it does have full level 3 hardware support for the Camera 2 API, which means we should get a version of Gcam at some point. I did grab a version of Gcam that was recommended on the S20 FE subreddit, but it's not super reliable. Crashes. There you can see we got a crash. So not yet, but hopefully soon. I was asked about bloatware. It had a lot of the standard kind of like Samsung stuff on it, and then LinkedIn and Facebook. I got rid of most of that stuff, and I disabled anything else that I didn't need. Here you can see quite a bit of disabled stuff. So you can get rid of quite a bit of it, which is a positive. And then ads. I guess this is mostly region dependent, but in my case, there were no ads whatsoever. Yeah, that's a big win coming from Xiaomi. I'm very happy that there are no ads, but I know this could vary based on region. Another thing that I was asked about is green tinge. Apparently this is quite a common issue on OLEDs. If we compare to my Poco X3, you can see here there's definitely a bit of a green tinge on the color balance there. The Poco is definitely biased a little bit more magenta, and it's not something that I could adjust with the white balance settings on the phone itself. Hopefully at some point there'll be means to calibrate it, but as things currently stand, I can't. In an ebook reader that I've got, I was able to adjust color, and you can compensate for the white balance, so it would be nice if that were an option. Another thing that's quite nice is because it's an OLED, the screen does feel a little bit closer to the edge of the glass compared to the cheaper LCDs. This is especially noticeable around the corners of the screen. So if you it almost looks as though they get deeper towards the edge. It looks a bit recessed. There's a bit of a shadow around the corners. So that was quite a pleasant change. That paired with 120 Hz makes for a very paper-like experience. Feels very, very much like you're interacting with an object as opposed to just a screen, which is really nice. Yet another step up from the Poco X3, which is already good because it's got 120 Hz. So I really like that. The last thing that I'd like to just take a quick look at is the size comparison. It's quite a slim phone, very comfortable in the hand, a lot lighter and feels more premium than the Poco. The Poco is a bit of a cheap plastic, and the S21 feels a little bit more premium. It's got the soft touch material on the back, which is nice. Very comfortable in the hand. It feels cool. It doesn't get sticky like this. And I feel a lot more confidence. I haven't dropped it on my face yet. It might be because it's a lot lighter. It might also be because the 6.5 inch is probably the sweet spot for my hand size. I've got a dent in my finger there from how heavy this damn phone has been holding it like this the whole time. So quite a pleasant change for me. And then, yeah, I do enjoy the olive color. I think it's actually very nice. It's a little bit understated, looks quite classy. The warm metallic colored finish on the edge is also really nice. And then one last thing that I forgot about is the optical fingerprint reader. I did get some questions about this. It is pretty fast. As you can see, it's an optical. That's why we see the light blinking there. So it's not an ultrasonic, but really good. Very happy with that experience there. And I think that's about everything. If you've got any questions, please feel free to give me a shout. More than happy to answer anything you throw my way. The only thing that I won't be doing is unlocking the bootloader. I'm not interested in doing that. Someone else can take that risk. But otherwise, feel free to drop me the questions. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers.